YouTube! My last reading wrap-up only spanned through August, and it is already November, so I thought it was time to catch you up on what I've been reading and why I've been reading at a slower rate than normal. So here's everything that I've read since August. The book that I was reading when I filmed that last video was Denton Little's Death Date by Lance Rubin. While it has a nice premise, I don't know if I would necessarily recommend this to people. It's a book about a kid who lives in a world where your death date is predicted, and so you know when you're gonna die, and he dies sooner than most people, and so this is a bunch of mystery and intrigue leading up to the day of his death. It just ended up not really being my kind of book. The next book that I read was Goblet of Fire from the Harry Potter series. Part of the reason I've been so slow in reading books recently is because I've been doing a massive reread of Harry Potter, and these books ain't short, so I've been actually doing the audiobooks of these. So I got through Goblet of Fire, and then I went immediately into Order of the Phoenix. This book, by the way, I believe is like a 27-hour audiobook, which is just so long. It's so long! So I finished both of these. And then it took me a little longer, but I made it through Half-Blood Prince as well. So those are like the three definite biggest books in the Harry Potter series. This is mostly what I've been reading. I am not gonna talk too much about my thoughts because I have been taking notes through my entire reread, and I really want to do a video about the whole process of rereading these books as an adult and the things that I interpreted differently or felt differently about, or things that I'd completely forgot existed. So keep an eye out. I'm going to be filming that whole video when I'm finished with Deathly Hallows. I am just starting Deathly Hallows today, actually. So my goal is to finish the reread by the end of the year, and that should hopefully be pretty easy because it's only one more book and I have a whole month. I did read one other book this month, which is Ivory and Bone by Julie Eschbach. I took a really long time to finish this book, even though I was pretty into it. It started slow, but then it definitely picked up, and I read kind of the second half kind of all in one day. This is a book that was very bizarre. It's prehistoric fantasy, but it's written in second person. And so the main character is this guy, and he keeps talking about you, and you are the other girl in the book. And it's really strange, and I kept kind of waiting for the reason why this book was written this way, and I never really pinpointed exactly why. It is definitely a book with a lot of mystery in it, and so you uncover things about the book as you go, and you don't know if the character that's you is like a good character or a bad character, which is kind of bizarre as the reader. Ultimately, I thought that it was surprisingly good. I don't read a lot of books like this. I don't read a lot of fantasy in general. I definitely don't read second person, and I don't think I've ever read a book that's in more like prehistoric times. So it was like a triple threat for me for books out of my comfort zone. I ended up being pleasantly surprised. I read the physical copy, but I took it with me to France, and I didn't have a lot of room to bring stuff home. So I actually ended up leaving it in France with another person that I met there, so I just let the book go on its journey. And yeah, so that was a really interesting book. I just picked it up at Half Price Books one day, just randomly, and I'm really happy that I did. In terms of what I'm reading next, as I said, I'm currently working my way through the audiobook of Deathly Hallows, and I'm very excited to complete this reread. I'm also in the middle right now of Three Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake. This is a book that I picked up at the airport on a trip recently because it just sounded really interesting, and it sounded like a good book to read in a castle in France. So I took this with me to France, but I didn't quite finish it. This is about these three sisters who, they're all born from the queen, and they're all potentially the next in line to be queen, and they're separated when they're 6, and then on their 16th birthday, they have to, one of them has to kill the other two, and then that's the one that becomes the next queen. And they all have these different abilities. So one's a naturalist, one's an elementalist, and one's a poisoner. So they have the different powers that will help them do this. And you read it from all three of their different points of view, and you like all three of them. So I have a feeling this book might be how they stop this cycle from happening. Maybe? I don't know. I'm only halfway through, so I'll let you guys know in my next wrap-up how I feel about this book. The last book that I'm going to be reading is Mirror in the Sky by Aditi Khorana. This is the restricted section book for fall, so Mallory and I are going to be reading this and hopefully putting on a live show to talk about it with you guys. So you totally still have time to read this. I haven't started reading mine yet, and I'll put a link to the restricted section down below, which isn't my book club. So yeah, this isn't a very full video. Mostly I've been reading Harry Potter. I just wanted to give you guys a check-in to let you know that I am, in fact, still reading. My Goodreads goal for the year was 52 books, and I'm only currently at 33. which is a little bit stressful because I don't think that I can read 19 books between now and the end of the year to hopefully maybe hit my goal, but probably not, and that will just have to be okay. The other thing that I wanted to just mention, I made a video about this a couple of days ago, but I have launched a couple new merch items. Anyway, that's all. I hope that you guys are having a great reading month. I hope that you're gearing up for the holidays and have a bunch of good books on your wish list for Christmas or whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!